Hi, this is Kevin Druley with the Kane County Chronicle, coming to you with a video log entry after the boys state swimming meet held this weekend at Evanston. Just kind of the usual fare. I wanted to just catch up, much like we did wrestling earlier in the week. But kind of a disappointing week for St. Charles North. They come into the meet hoping to get that first trophy in school history. They were fifth a year ago, had quite a few guys coming back, hoping to get third or better. Wound up at New Trier, the defending champ, won in a landslide, but the North Stars sputtered a little bit. They had really strong swims, even though they might not say that right now, but really strong swims from Kyle Gannon, Chris Dieter, Nick Kowaleski, a few guys like that. Those three guys I just mentioned were part of two relays that were in consolation finals, and also Kyle was in a championship final, taking sixth in the 500 freestyle, but otherwise the team kind of was down. And Rob Rooney, who's a veteran coach, just throughout the weekend, whether you saw him anecdotally in the hall or in the locker room or wherever, he was always just keeping upbeat and saying the same to the guys, just to keep your chin up and to keep things in perspective, which he's been around the sport for quite a while, and he's seen guys come and go, but also seen them really be refined in life and in their self-confidence through swimming. So he knows how to motivate, and he did that with the team this weekend. Sean Suschek of St. Charles East had another strong meet. He had two medals, not quite Kyle Gannon, who had the two relays and the two individuals, but still a very strong weekend for Sean. His best finish was fifth in the 200 individual medley. The swimmer in the layover was actually disqualified, but I think he was going to catch him for fifth anyhow. It was a really strong finish in the freestyle portion of the race then. Sean closing out his career, and he's got a few college options and some schools in Colorado he's talked to, so he's looking. He estimated that through the years, over 4 years, he trained or swam some 2 million yards, 500,000 a year. So his arms certainly, and we're built up to do that. But he's had the stamina throughout the years at East, and really been a strong member of that program that already is steeped in history, much like North, and certainly East, being the old St. Charles High School and having that history from before. So the St. Charles schools certainly, even though it wasn't what they expected after both being neck and neck and approaching the 300-point barrier at sectionals last week up at North, wasn't quite what they expected, but still showed well and still got some medalists and some pride to bring home to the pool in St. Charles. So as for Marmion, they had a 400 relay consolation qualifier that had to wait till the very end of the day. They were commuting back and forth from Marmion, so they didn't quite get to sleep in as if they were staying in Evanston nearby, but got to the pool a little before noon, swam a little before 5, and the guys were just trying to warm up as best they could, as often as they could, and they seemed pretty upbeat, at least to get into the second day. For a while it wasn't looking like that on Friday. Marmion, every guy who had qualified, I believe they had 7 qualifiers, whether individuals or relays in the prelims, but every guy had a personal best time, but up until that relay, which is the last event of the day, they had nothing to show for it. So that's kind of the wrap up with the placers. But another not as successful as we've seen in the past from the Tri-Cities, but certainly some guys getting into Saturday and holding people and fans' interest all the way down to the final event. So as for some of the off the beaten path stuff, the people watching, truth be told, isn't as lively, I guess, at swimming. Which is kind of weird because it's such close quarters. You're seeing a lot more people probably than you would at wrestling. But I know I maybe got some hopes up last week after seeing the Geico Caveman in Champaign. Nothing quite like that this week. There was a Boylan coach. It's kind of not an obscure swimming movie, but a swimming movie that came out a few years ago called Pride, about an African American high school and club team that kind of forged its way in the 1970s. And there was kind of the villain coach played opposite Bernie Mac, and Terrence Howard was played by Tom Arnold, and there was a guy who kind of looked like him. That's about all I got, to be honest. There was kind of a funny scene also involving that guy, though. They were playing the song Tequila in one of the 15-minute warm-ups in between events, and maybe not the swimmers who swam, but some of their parents would probably know that movie is kind of writ large, or that song is writ large in the movie Pee-wee's Big Adventure. Pee-wee dances to it during one scene. So this guy spot on match, and you can imagine me doing it, I won't do it at this point, but spot on match did Pee-wee's little dance move a little bit on the pool deck. So that was half funny. The guy probably didn't know I was seeing it, but like I say, you do need some people watching skills during these lulls sometimes. But I will say that one of the neater experiences I've had, maybe even as a sports writer, which hasn't been too long, it's been a little over 5 years, both here and downstate, but was kind of on a search trying to find a media room that allegedly had chicken wings. Now when I got there weren't any, but that's okay. I had a bottle of water and it was all right. But it was right by the chlorine room and the boiler room of the pool, and there's a window fairly wide. And this isn't to scale. I don't know why I put my hands up, but it's it's a big enough window. Imagine something like you might see. I don't know. I guess just take my word for it that it's big. But in any event, it's a window into the pool. Right where it gets deep by the diving well. So it was during the diving portion, and I was just kind of peeking in the window a little bit, and you would see the guy splash, hit the water, come down. And like I said, it was certainly a different perspective and different from anything that you might expect. That you'd see the water kind of plume in and out of their nostrils as they're getting deeper, and you'd see their toes kind of spring up as they hit the bottom of the pool. And if they hit the water straight like a pencil, they were happy, and you could see a little bit of a fist pump. And there were a couple guys who did hit it the way they wanted, and you saw them kind of grab their hair, whether it was shaved or not, in frustration. So. Also went down there for an event that didn't have any area athletes and just kind of saw some guys swimming back and forth, and that was, like I say, an interesting angle. And saw a coach, I think from one of the Champaign schools, was down there taking some film and explained that it's a little bit better advantage or just a different vantage point from filming on the deck, which is always crowded. So kudos to him for getting down to a place where he could actually get some room and get some footage. But other than that, I think that about covers it. Just like I say, wanted to check in. So again, with the wrestling, which we'll have all area later this week, look out for the swimming package in a little while as well. But just wanted to check in. So appreciate you watching. Stay tuned to the website this weekend for a full story, and had some blogs up. And then beginning of next week, we'll have a recap in the Tuesday paper, and also a column with some other hits, notes here and there from the meet. So thanks for reading, thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon. Bye.